All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 702. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by that man who can't wait to show you his bag, Wombat.
I mean, I was going to show it later in the middle of the show, but
Right.
if you want to see my bag right now.
No, well, wait, let's wait.
Okay.
Let's tease everybody.
I
Can't wait
mean,
for the bundle.
I was going to say the longer we get into the show, the warmer I get and the bag gets a little bigger.
Are you sitting on the bag?
I'm always sitting on the bag.
Huh. What if you're standing?
And the bag's at my knees.
This is gross. I want out. Eject.
You started the conversation.
I know. I always do that. I always make that horrible mistake.
I know. I just, play along. I yes and, as the professionals say.
I really want to talk about Shipwreck's penis.
Go on.
No, I'm joking.
I'm sure it's quite impressive.
I just wanted to throw it to you, Shipwreck, in an uncomfortable manner as possible.
I was just waiting for you to go on.
Like your penis. Get it?
Mm-hmm. No, I got it.
Good. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Oh, I forgot we're not supposed to talk about politics.
Shipwreck can pee downstairs, but be upstairs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Chris. Speaking of pee, did you have any flood damage from last night?
I did not. I got lucky with this one.
Now I can't sleep every time it's heavy rain because I just feel like, oh, my house is flooding while I'm sleeping.
Did you get you put in the window thing though, didn't you?
No, I didn't get the window thing because I got quoted $2,000 for the window thing. And also I realized like a window bubble there, that's not going to really solve my problem. My problem is the water just coming downhill into the window thing. There's just like my backyard is slanted in the wrong direction. It's slanted directly to the window in my downstairs, my window hole. So I think I need to fix that landscaping situation first before
That's going to be...
You're going to level your backyard to
No.
Okay.
I just need a little spot.
That's going to be a little more than $2,000.
Oh, no, I got some guys with shovels. They'll just do that.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Of course it does. What are you talking about? I've done it already. Like, I know exactly how it works and how much it costs and all that shit. Anyway, I don't have to do the whole backyard. It's just that part close to my house needs to be higher. And that way the water will go somewhere else. And then we can worry about where the
water goes then.
We'll put it somewhere good. We'll put it somewhere.
You could build an aqueduct of some sort, maybe.
Oh my God. It sounds annoying. It sounds very annoying.
Go down to the river.
I do need some sort of like piping to carry the water away. It's too much water. Fucking global warming is killing me.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy, this weather that we're having.
I was out last night, so I'm watching the water pile up in the backyard, and I know there's a certain point where it overflows. Like we have like these little plastic dividers between the lawn and our rock area by our house. It's not like the most elegantly done solution, so like the divider comes up above the ground, but that's holding back the water in these situations. It's like a fucking dam. So I'm watching the water get up to that, and I know once it goes over, now we're in the danger zone.
Now you're in some damn trouble.
I'm in some damn trouble, and now like I may not be sleeping this night.
Have you thought about putting a second dam right behind that one?
First of all, last night I'm just thinking, what would Shipwreck do right now? Should I even call Shipwreck to see what he would do? But that's what I came up with, and I got like we bought these bamboo slats for something else that we never wound up using. They're all sitting in my garage, but they're like 7 inches tall when you lie them down, and I can piggyback onto that dam to make an even bigger dam, which I did, but it didn't really work, and the water was still coming over. So my solution was to stand out there with a big push broom and to push the water away, just repeatedly.
Good workout. Yeah.
So are you saying that you think that you would have flooded again if you did not do this?
I was thinking maybe not, but I know that I would not be able to go to sleep.
Because it rained for like 12 hours straight. Were you literally out there for 12 hours?
No. The first night I didn't think of that. The first night I just really didn't sleep at all. And every hour I woke up and looked out the window to see like if I need to do something. And I put one of those water alarm things right by the window down here.
Yep.
Don't you have a child?
Yeah, what's he gonna do? He doesn't even wake up for this shit.
You wake him up and you make him do the brooming.
Dude, he doesn't even know he doesn't even know it's raining. Like, he doesn't know any of this is going on ever. So whatever. It was fine. I pushed some brooms. I ruined the lawn a little bit with my aggressive push brooming. But now when the landscaper comes this week, we can have the discussion about how we can solve this problem, and he'll see the damage that I did. And I even moved some rocks away to make like a separate pool. So I had like a little reservoir area.
It sounds like you're going to need some regrading.
Yeah.
And maybe a trench.
Yeah. It's good times. Home ownership is a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's going to be cheap.
It never ends. But at least I know my base level was 2,000, because like that's where like the cover comes in. And I was like, this was a fancy cover that you could open, by the way. I know you could just buy like a fucking plastic bubble. But again, that's not stopping the fucking tsunami of water coming in. Anyway, I'll let you know how that goes once I meet with Jorge on Thursday.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm an extra. It was good because like it's Hell Week at Orange Theory this week, which means you do like extra hard workouts, and if you do enough of them during the week, if you do 5, you get a shirt. And so I've been doing them every day, so I'm really tired. So I really wanted to be out there with a push broom at night after doing like, you know, a bunch of those workouts in a row. But
now, is this something? This is interesting. Is this something that Wombat could maybe get involved with? Then I heard free T-shirt.
Well, it's
The
not.
problem is that Orange Theory is still prohibitively expensive.
Is that the problem?
Yeah.
So if I paid for it, you would do it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. There's one right by my house.
But you would do. I mean, I don't want.
Now.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't want to pay for it and then not have you go, because then I'm just throwing money down the garbage.
I would go as long as it's between. It would have to be between 9 and 3 o'clock.
9 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Isn't that where you're working?
During the prime working.
I mean, that's the best time to go. That's when I go. That's the fucking best time to go when nobody's there.
I could take like an hour for lunch. There's literally one line. The only reason why I know that is because I saw it the other day. I had to pick up Sabrina from the business next door to it, and I was like, "Oh, that's where the Orange Theory is by me."
I feel like. So you're saying the only barrier is the time, the 9. It has to be between 9 and 3 p.m. and the cost. The cost is about $100 a month, I believe.
And if it was after 3 p.m., it would have, as long as I get.
It's all day.
Elliot,
they offer them all day. This class
as long
is
as
all
I
day.
get Elliot off the bus and into the house, if I then needed to leave for an hour, I could do that.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm proposing.
Actually, even then, it's not so bad if Sabrina's home. It's a whole thing.
Here's what I'm proposing. Here's all I'm proposing.
I'd have to figure it out.
It's a simple proposition. I believe the basic membership there is 8 classes a month. So that's like 2 classes a week.
Okay.
And I believe it's $100 a month. It may even be a little cheaper where you are. I'm not exactly sure what the current price is. I know it changes based on where you are, and I guess it's probably always going up. But it's probably about $100 a month for that package. So if we could somehow get that going for you, you would say you could commit to going twice a week.
Yeah, I don't see why. It was a problem before when I was working in the city.
Absolutely.
But now that I work from home, and now that I know that the closest one is about, I don't know, 6 minutes from my house with traffic.
That's the key point for any gym, is proximity to your home.
I did not realize that. I promise you, I did not realize how close it was. It's funny you brought it up. I did not realize how close it was to my house until I had to pick Sabrina up from a party on Thursday of last week.
And now you're intrigued. You're thinking,
yes, I actually.
Could I get a free T-shirt from this place?
No, I was thinking more the. I guess I should look more into this place because it is so close.
Interesting.
And I also saw my cousin who lives in Florida. I saw her over the weekend, and she's like you. She goes 5 days a week.
I don't go 5 days a week.
She's like a crazy Orange Theory person, and because we have a mutual on Facebook, and I asked her how she knew that person, and she's like, "Oh, she's one of my Orange Theory people," and we had a whole conversation.
I have 0 Orange Theory people.
She has Orange Theory people. She's like, she's a different type of person, but I love my cousin. But
you can get a free T-shirt. All you have to do is pay $15, and then also attend 5 out of the 8 Hell Week classes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not exactly free, but I did get this water bottle for signing up. That's
cool.
Yeah, I paid $15 still, but it's
That's
included.
still a nice water bottle. It's just Hell Week on
It
it.
came with water in it. It's like a refillable, it's not that fancy. But anyway, I have to go. I'm going this week. I'm going 5 days in a row. I normally would not do that. But yeah, that's exciting, Wombat. The fact that you said at least there's some interest in there.
Oh, it's definitely interest.
Interesting. Okay.
And again, it's only interesting because it literally came up twice in the last 4 days.
Destiny, I believe, is the word you're looking for.
Maybe it is. So I blame you. I blame my cousin. I saw all my cousins over the weekend at a wedding because my youngest cousin got married in Connecticut.
Oh, sorry, I'm not listening. I'm setting up the GoFundMe for your Orange Theory.
That's fine. It was very nice. Thank you for
asking.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
I saw the picture. There was a guy playing saxophone.
The guy, I sent you the picture of the guy playing saxophone who looked exactly like the actor who plays Scarecrow on Titans as Scarecrow.
The saxophone wasn't wearing a mask, though.
No. I thought it was funny. One of my other cousins who was watching Titans thought it was the funniest thing he's seen in a long time.
Okay.
I thought you'd find it funny too. You clearly did not. I'm sorry.
What was my reaction supposed to be to the tweet? I was supposed to take my pants off or something?
It wasn't a tweet. It was a text.
Oh, it was a text. Well, they all blend together.
And you could have said, ha.
Oh, a text is really just a private tweet. You
could have, you could be like, oh, hey, look at that. I don't know. But the wedding was nice.
Right. I guess I wasn't that. I felt you could have done better. Maybe I didn't like the photography.
Well, I didn't want to look at the guy and take his picture. I had to sneak it over his shoulder to make it look like I was taking a picture of someone else.
Professional would have made it work.
He was playing a saxophone. He's there to be looked at.
Right.
Right.
He wants you to photograph him.
Yeah.
Next time you give him the finger while you photograph him, and you photograph yourself, your finger in the frame.
Yeah.
Then you'll get a reaction.
That's what professionals do.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
How about some show feedback? That's what professionals do also.
Yes, it is. This is from Hufferstel, who says, I can't believe Cheapy and Wombat both missed the Adams Groove joke. They can do what they want to do joke that Shipwreck dropped in the episode.
Who said we missed it? I didn't miss it.
Well done, Chip. Keep it up.
I caught it.
I will admit I did not.
I laughed on the inside.
And I heard about it from at least 4 people that I dropped the ball on your joke. So congratulations.
What are you supposed to do? Laugh? I don't laugh when you tell jokes.
Right.
Exactly. So yeah, I acted appropriately.
I just assumed it was coming from somebody.
It's like texting a joke to a Cheapy. The proper reaction is no reaction.
To be ignored.
I usually just change the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know what? If I laugh at every text that you send, you're not going to really try harder. You're just going to send over a lot of, I need quality over quantity,
I know.
Positive reinforcement. It's only for your own good.
Oh, this is a joke just for Cheapy. It's not even for the planet. He's the only person I know who will get it.
I stopped watching Titans. It's so bad. It just reminded me how many hours I wasted watching that show. I think that's why I didn't laugh. It made me feel sad inside when you sent me. It reminded me of all those wasted hours.
That's understandable. I was busy eating crab puffs and drinking old fashions.
Right.
Andy787 has to say, just got to say, it seems really petty and pedantic to not give Cheapy the points for car play. Still enjoying the show all these years later, and it's sad to me that anyone could possibly be disappointed by your politics. What show were they listening to? Also, Cheapy, can you please chill with the burping some of us eat during the show? My advice is don't eat during the show. Also, I will continue to rub in the car play thing as long as Cheapy finds it annoying.
I don't care. I was annoyed at the time. I let it go.
I looked at mine today when it popped up. It said Apple CarPlay in my car on the screen.
Right, because what's happening there, it depends on the context that it's being used in, certainly. Like if it's being used on another brand as a part of another brand's product, they're always going to differentiate that.
So
it's
not in an Apple car? Any car that's not an Apple car? Right. Apple CarPlay?
All people also brought up that.
The thing is, Chip, is that he's wrong here.
I'm not
That's
wrong
the
here.
problem.
It's no different than calling than you answering DS and not Nintendo DS. Like it's the name of the company and the product, right? So like in your car, they're showing you I
think that's Apple CarPlay.
Right, well, not the company, the product. The name of the product is Apple CarPlay. but it's also just like the name of the Nintendo DS is the DS and the Nintendo DS. It's interchangeable, right?
It's not the Nintendo DS.
Correct, but nobody answered anything like that. Nobody answered Apple CarPlay. The whole point was Wombat got it wrong on the CAGcast by calling it Apple Play, which is nothing.
It's a thing.
It's not.
It could be a thing in the future.
It could be, sure. Certainly. They made Apple Pay, and you have AirPlay, but there's no Apple Play. But certainly that could change in the future. He could be right given enough time. Anyway, it's okay, Andy. I appreciate Andy's sentiment, but I let it go. Certainly, if there was
Andy, you suck and Cheapy sucks. Go back to your holes.
Just for Andy, I will not burp anymore on this show for this episode. This episode.
I don't even think you're going to hold that promise.
In honor of Andy. Well, you remember I burped a lot before the show started, so I feel like I got a lot out. I'm confident.
All right.
I was looking through. First of all, I want to thank people for leaving us more reviews on Apple Podcasts, and there were some really nice ones in there. And I thought that Wombat would actually appreciate this one. This one comes from Conde Clone, and I'll abbreviate, I guess. No, I won't. It says, been a listener since the first episode that was 7 minutes long, which we actually just played before this show as part of our classic clips that we play if you come to the show before we start here at 9 p.m. on Twitch on Wednesday nights. Says, listen to the episode 7 minutes long and talked about Katamari Damacy. I even listened to it on my PSP at one point. I was a freshman in college. I don't always agree with everything said or their taste, but that's fine. All three hosts are fantastic, and I've immensely enjoyed being there to listen to their nerdy talks, personal lives, and awesome moments like welcoming babies. I have a vivid memory of the highway I was driving on when I heard about Sabrina, which is a bit odd. I've never bothered with other podcasts. This one is superb. Isn't that nice, Wombat? He knows where he was. Do you know where you were when you heard about your wife?
I heard about Sabrina. I do.
Oh, okay. It's not that impressive, actually.
But yeah.
I'm not impressed, actually. But I'm impressed with Conde Clone, for sure. And I thought he made a really good point. He said, if you want politics out of this podcast, mate, everything has politics. You might as well state you don't like atoms in your life, which I thought was pretty funny.
I don't like atoms in my life.
No, ATOMS, not ADAMS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know you have some problems with some atoms.
I do.
Yeah.
They know who they are.
Yeah. Let's do some Watch This, boys.
Sure. You've been watching a lot, so
whoa! Are you shaming me? Are you TV shaming me?
I am TV shaming you. Yeah.
Did I mention that I'm going to Hell Week at Orange Theory? I'm entitled to watch television. I can't move for the rest of the day, so I just lie on the couch.
Tell us about the 17-hour-long movies you've been watching.
To be honest, I've really been playing a lot of Far Cry, not so much TV. But I guess I'm the only one of us three that watched Dune. Yeah. You guys weren't curious?
You don't have to guess. You don't have to guess.
You weren't curious? You know what?
I had the time to watch one movie over the weekend, really when I came back from the wedding. And I chose something other than Dune.
Why?
Not that.
Everybody's talking about it.
I see the trailer.
No.
I see the trailer.
I didn't see it.
For Dune. Are they trying to convince me to watch a movie when I watch that trailer?
Why? What did you see in the trailer that made you not want to watch it?
A sense of anything.
Yeah, I don't know much about Dune, and every time I see something Dune related, I'm like, I'm glad people like it. That's my usual reaction.
But you're not curious to see like the inspiration behind Star Wars? Like, you like Star Wars? No, Shipwreck shaking
Star Wars.
I know what the inspiration is behind Star Wars.
It was Dune, apparently.
I thought it was the other one. I thought it was the one that was on Apple TV.
What was that?
That's that.
Ted Lasso?
That new, no, the
Foundation.
I don't know. Foundation.
Oh.
Yes, I thought that was the basis of Star
Everything.
Wars.
I thought the Legend of King Arthur was the.
I thought it was the Bible.
Yeah.
Well, I watched it. Mrs. Cheapy and I watched it. It wasn't that long. It's 2.5 hours. The same length as every Marvel movie that comes out, pretty much. We did break it down into 2 viewings, as we like to do here in this household. Even when the adults are involved, just because it is a long time to sit. I liked it.
Did they win? Did the Dune people win?
I mean, the Dune people. It's a trilogy, so I gotta say this.
Is this like the Sand people from Star Wars get mad?
No,
and they start a revolution.
They talk.
Do they go to the cantina?
I don't think there's a cantina.
Is there anything interesting at all?
Are there?
Yeah,
duvacks?
I mean, look, am I going to say that like I loved it? No.
Is Sting in it?
I was definitely interested. It held my attention. I wanted to see what happened, till the end. Did I think the ending was a little anticlimactic? Yes, and I think
where was the climax in the movie?
Good question. I think it's in the next movie.
Was the CGI on Gollum distracting?
Do you know, like, no, I didn't, no, that was fine. I didn't see any distracting CGI.
Oh, was Andy Serkising going on in this?
See the bad guy?
He should have been.
Oh.
No, I don't think he's in.
Oh. No, everything, the effects are really good. The music is really good. The visuals.
This has all the people from Disney movies, but it's not a Disney movie, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was distracting, seeing the guy from Star Wars.
Well, you've got Poe, you've got Mary Jane, you've got Aquaman, which I guess isn't Disney.
He was fine in it.
You've got who else is in this?
The best part, and I posted this on Twitter, and it goes to what you're saying, Ship. Mm-hmm. There's the official artwork for this has all the characters' pictures on it. And, we finished the movie and it's up on the screen here right behind me. And I said to Mrs. Cheapy, all right, Mrs. Cheapy. I didn't maybe not say that, and I pointed to each. I said, which of these characters can you name? She got 0.
Oh, the names of the characters, not
the characters. 0.
I thought you called her mother.
Never. I got 2. Which is not great because there were like 8 characters on the screen. But I don't know. I was entertained. I felt like, we're so used to seeing movies like action movies, science fiction movies. This is not an action movie, by the way, but a science fiction movie with like a big finale with a lot of things blowing up. And this does not have that. So it was a little weird. I kept waiting. When the movie ended, I was like, oh, we're just going to stop the movie now without blowing stuff up, which is, okay. I'm sophisticated. I don't need that. But I don't know. I didn't love it. That's all I'm going to say. I wouldn't, if I really felt strongly about it, Ship, I would try to convince you to watch it, and you too, Wombat, but I don't.
I don't think it's for me. I mean, I've seen the original Dune, and that was not for me.
It was not offensive, though, to my taste.
Are you going to watch that movie with, you don't have Netflix, never. I was going to say, you should watch that movie with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. It's The Rock, right? And Gal Gadot that's coming out. That seems right up Shipwreck's alley.
What, are you saying he's an unsophisticated bore?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Look, if I like I said, I think like if you are invested in the Dune universe and have read the books and maybe seen the other movies.
It's called the Duneverse.
Sorry, you would know. I'm not even that invested. That's how little invested I am. You probably get a lot out of the movie.
Fans are called Dunatics.
No, they're not.
I hope so.
I hope so. They're going to be now. Anyway, I'm glad, that's all. Enough Dune talk. Did you watch the Only Murders in the Building finale?
No, I'm like 3 episodes behind.
Ooh,
I'm the worst.
You are the worst.
I know, because we're trying to watch together and it just hasn't worked.
It's that busy lifestyle.
I know.
Yeah, how about between the hours of 9 and 3?
Well, it's a 2-person operation. Most
of my jokes are just for Shipwreck.
I know.
Yeah, so we watched it. It was very good. This is definitely Only Murders in the Building. Definitely one of our top television series of the year. And Mrs. Chibi was talking to me the other day about how many great series there were this year. So we should probably put together a list of our favorite shows of 2021 at some point towards the end of the year. We can have a favorites of Watch This Boys, which I don't think we've done this year. It seems like there's a lot of quality shit that came out this year.
Yeah, it's Guys Groceries Games is really stepped up.
You can only choose that once, though. You can't be all of your choices.
Oh, says you.
You can't do multiple episodes. So yeah, loved Only Murders in the Building. No spoilers or anything, but yeah, just what I really appreciated about that show was that it was only the episode's only half an hour long, and they managed to pack those episodes with quality and getting you involved with the characters. A lot of shows, these hour-long shows, that you feel like they're wasting your time sometimes, but never with Only Murders in the Building. Stu Beef writes in, and he's got a comment. He says, is Long Island the poor have sex with your cousin shithole part of New York that Only Murders in the Building keeps knocking it down as? I had always thought of it as synonymous with the Hamptons or Montauk being an obscenely high cost of living spot for fairly wealthy residents, though I am admittedly not from the East Coast. Maybe I'm just not getting the joke. Wombat, you're from Long Island. You can answer this.
Long Island is very large. I think is probably what a lot of people misunderstand.
It's long.
It is quite the Long Island. To drive from my house to the Montauk Lighthouse could take upwards of 4 hours.
Yet only 6 minutes to Orange Theory.
Yes, only 6 minutes to the closest Orange Theory. So and with anything that's basically the size of a small state, you're going to have varying areas of varying economic,
Diversity.
stuff. Thank you. Yeah. So there are places on Long Island that are not the best. There are places on Long Island that are crazy.
Those are the killing
expensive.
fields, right?
Yes.
That's the whole entire
exactly.
island.
And there are places that are in the middle. It is what it is.
Basically, Nassau County has more population density than Suffolk County, which is the most east coast part. But if you go out far enough east, you get to like some big mansions where people have their summer homes. So that's basically the breakdown. So yeah, we did get shouted out in Only Murders in the Building. That was good. We appreciate that.
Sure do.
Is anybody watching What We Do in the Shadows? Because we're wrapping up that season too. And this most recent episode was probably the funniest one of the year so far. Did you guys not watch the movie or not like the movie? Because it's
the vampire thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I tried to watch it a few
yeah.
times. I just couldn't. It just didn't resonate.
I watched like 3 episodes of it, I think.
The TV show?
Yeah.
The first 3 episodes weren't that great. Yeah, I could see why you bailed. I feel like it was a little. I remember thinking about bailing, but I was glad I stuck with it. It gets some of them are just ridiculously funny, but some of them are misses too. What else? What are you watching?
I saw a movie that I don't want to say too much about because I know Shipwreck hasn't watched it yet. That is a movie called Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins.
Uh-huh. Yes, the origins of Snake Eyes.
Of Snake Eyes. It is.
Yes.
I mean, you have to watch it.
I will.
You have to.
It's right here. I will.
I know.
It's bad.
It is. I don't know what. I just don't know.
I told you, Ty came to me like months after watching it, just out of nowhere, just saying, like on second thought, Snake Eyes was bad. I guess we had watched some good movies in between then.
He said on second thought. I'm saying on first thought.
Right, but he was, 13.
Yeah. Snake Eyes is not good. It's misguided in so many ways. And it's one of those movies where you see like they got some really good actors in it. The guy from The Raid is in this movie, Chibi. The guy who beats everyone up in the hallway. Yeah, beats everyone up in the hallway.
Right.
He's in this movie. Do you know how many people he beats up?
Yeah, that's the problem, huh?
Yeah, it's very strange. There's a lot of things. I don't want to spoil anything for Ship because he's gonna watch the movie. But
the Shipwreck in the movie?
No, Shipwreck is not in the movie. Otherwise, it would
throw that shit right out the window.
It would have been that would have been a little bit of redemption.
Shipwreck Origins sounds like such a better movie.
You know what? This movie could have been Shipwreck Origins, and they didn't have to change anything, and it probably would have been the same movie.
That's the problem with what they try to do with Snake Eyes, right? Like,
yeah,
it's just like, oh, here's the cool looking hero, and then they just like ignore like everything about him. They gave him a face and a voice. It's like, so what are the defining characteristics of this character? Well, he has no face and no voice. Okay, well, throw those things out the window. So then it's a different person. It might as well have been Flint and the Flint story. And he's supposed to be mysterious.
Yes.
And we're going to tell the origin story.
And now you know everything about the most mysterious character. It's Boba Fett syndrome, where Boba Fett was cool for almost 40 years because we knew nothing about him. And then, these movies came along and we found out about his dad and all the nonsense. And we're like,
And then he got fat, and if he was in the desert,
and it's like now
forgot
he's
to lock his ship a couple times,
and now he's not cool anymore. It's like, oh, I remember when you were cool. The good thing is I think Snake Eyes is bad enough where Snake Eyes, the character, can still be cool because they're just gonna sweep this under the rug.
They keep sweeping them under the rug, right? Like
I know. The thing is, in that second G.I. Joe movie, which is also terrible, but the G.I. Joe,
but yeah,
those G.I. Joe fights, the Snake Eyes fight scenes, the stuff on the mountain, that stuff is awesome. That's really good. That's the redeeming qualities of that movie. They just needed to take that and make it 2 hours long, and they don't. So
the movie's only a half an hour shorter than Dune.
I understand.
I broke my promise to Andy. Fuck. I actually silenced one of my burps using my cough button earlier. Sorry, Andy. Maybe I'm probably not going to edit it.
You know why? Because you're angry about Snake Eyes.
No, it's giving me gas.
Next up on my watch list.
I need you to watch it just so we could talk about.
I was trying to watch it before the show, but Mrs. Shipwreck said the only way she'd watch it with me is if we watched Free Guy first. Because she wanted to watch Free Guy, so we watched Free Guy.
And you watched Free Guy?
I watched Free Guy.
Is it like vanilla yogurt?
Yes, it is very much. I don't know. It's less interesting than Pixels.
Ooh,
wow!
No, that's not good.
But
how is Pixels interesting?
A better movie than Pixels, but less interesting.
Wait, how is Pixels interesting?
I wanted to see Free Guy.
What was that?
Pixels is very interesting, by the way.
Why?
Because a man fucks Qbert.
There's some stuff going on.
Okay, that is interesting.
Yeah,
that's a whole other movie.
Is interesting the right word for that movie?
Yes.
Okay.
But I did want to see Free Guy. It looks like it could be like enjoyable popcorn.
It looks like it, and there's like some decent like visuals, but it's just kind of one note the entire thing, right?
At least with Ryan Reynolds, when he makes a movie about a guy with no face, he sticks to that. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, so I think I chuckled like once in the movie, which is like, I don't know, like
they're not putting that on the back of the box.
No. Which is like you're coming into this like it's either going to be like a really good action movie or it's going to be funny, right? Maybe a mixture of the both. And it's like the visuals of the action is pretty good, but it never like gets to the point where you're like, oh, this is a really cool scene. It's just like, oh yeah, they did an action scene here. They did it.
Painkiller in the chat says Upload on Amazon is much better, which I've watched and it was good.
Which one's Upload?
That's a TV series one,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
That's the one where it's the afterlife in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And the premise for this was fine. It just, I don't know. It didn't really have a whole lot to say. Or,
right.
I don't know.
I'm not
it's
surprised.
Free Guy.
Right.
I've been watching a show on regular television on CBS. Remember like sitcoms on regular television?
Like Three's Company?
Yeah. There's one called Ghosts on CBS that my wife and I have been watching. It stars Rose McIver from iZombie as her and her husband inherit a mansion from her great aunt. And when they're in there trying to clean it up, she hits her head. And now she could see all the ghosts that haunt the mansion. Actually, she could see all ghosts, but specifically the ones that haunt the mansion, and hijinks ensue. And it's cute.
If she died when she hit her head.
Yeah, exactly. She's dead. No, and
that's what you're gonna find out in the season finale. Shipwreck just ruined it for you and everybody else. Womp womp.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Gilbert writes in and says, I want Shipwreck's slightly awkward segment flipped on Cheapy about the ongoing Chappelle controversy. Should Netflix remove The Closer? Is it transphobic? I know Shipwreck hasn't watched it. Wombat, you haven't watched it. Do you watch any of his specials?
I'm not a big Chappelle stand-up guy.
Do you watch any stand-up?
Yeah, I watch a lot of stand-up.
What's the last stand-up special you watch, just so we know?
The last stand-up special I watched now.
Eddie Murphy Raw.
That was a good one.
No, did I watch the Nate Bargatze's last special?
You just made that name up. That's not a comedian.
No, I want to say that might be the last one I watched.
Nate Bargatze?
Newt Garbanzo.
I love her. I watched the closer. I watched it actually right when it came out, before there was any controversy. So I just happened to watch it. I was looking for something to watch, and I thought it was,
you would actually like Nate Bargatze. He's a Tennessee stand-up comedian.
Oh,
his
Shipwreck.
His father was a professional magician. No,
you like Tennessee stuff.
Was it a close magician or a far magician?
He has all sorts of things about how his father was a magician. It's very strange.
In between magician? How close is this magician to me?
That may be the last stand-up special I watched. There may be another one in there too that I'm just missing. But yes, I watch a lot of stand-up, if you want to know the truth.
The reason I thought it was controversial after watching it was only because he spends so much of it talking about LGBT stuff, which was weird, like a weird topic and it's not jokes really. It's mostly him telling stories that are not particularly funny. He finds the humor in them, but the stories aren't particularly funny. They involve tragedy and things that normally, like if you're looking to make people in a big room laugh, you wouldn't tell stories like that.
This is my thought on the whole situation.
You got to watch it though. It's hard to comment on it if you haven't watched it.
I can comment. Let me make my comment.
I think you can do it.
I know, but
because my comment on it is your idea. I learned it from you, Cheapy.
Dad, I learned it from watching you, Dad.
Because you're the one who basically instructed all of us that if someone is saying something that's offensive, it's only offensive if the people that are being targeted find it offensive. You use your wife as an example in these situations where there are, some people will get up in arms about people making fun of Japanese people who aren't Japanese. And your wife will be like, it's really not that big a deal. It's not that offensive. I should know they're making fun of me. So in this situation, you're asking a bunch of cis white males, is this Chappelle special transphobic? Is it offensive? And their answer is, it doesn't matter what anyone on this show thinks about it because we're not the targeted audience. Now, if the trans community as a whole has decided that this is offensive to them and that there is a problem there because it is dangerous to their community, then guess what? By your own logic, there's a problem there. And
my
it is
logic.
Something, your logic.
None of this is my logic. That's all Mrs.
This is your logic.
This is Mrs. Cheapy's thing.
Mrs. Cheapy's logic. Fine. Then yes, there is a problem there. And
so people should vote on comedy specials to see.
That's not the
how do you
issue
go
at
to
all.
how do you decide?
The issue is this a special offensive to the trans community? And the answer to that is the trans community finds this offensive and dangerous to their community. In the Discord chat the other day, this came up, and the idea of a TERF, and someone actually said, "Well, TERF is a made up thing. Chappelle said so." There's danger in what he said because people are
never
using
said that, but he didn't say that. I watched the show twice. I watched the special
I'm just saying,
twice.
that's what someone said.
He gives you the dictionary definition of TERF.
Yeah,
is what he does. So I guess that's not made up because he's giving you the definition. That's weird. My point. Here's what I think. I think it whatever who gets offended. That's like Wombat says. How could I say what somebody else thinks is offensive?
You can't tell someone that they shouldn't be offended by that when they're the person being targeted.
But I have a feeling that a lot of people who are offended by this have not really watched it. They've maybe read some articles about it. Similarly to the book situation in your school, front desk, where everything's out of context and people are just like jumping on the bandwagon to be outraged by something. It's hard to measure, like
people
like
in the
said,
chat are saying that you're wrong, that he does specifically say they made up tons of terms, including TERF. That is part of the special.
Well, I mean, what does that mean? Of course, all terms are made up by like, what are they? Words just materialize? Like all of a sudden there's a word appears.
You're
and then
getting a
there's
little
definition?
defensive about it, but go on.
No, I mean, how are words made? Like, I mean, what do you mean?
It's more of the, he's
Words
saying that
are
it's not something that he should, never mind. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. He was,
he's wrong.
Like the point is like probably like people who get offended maybe have not necessarily, but people complain about things that they haven't watched. And I'm thinking maybe that happened here. I don't know.
I don't think that's I think that might be an issue with a lot of outside the community. Again, there's a targeted community here. And I don't know.
I just don't know why. I don't know why it's dangerous for people. But anyway, I don't think comedy specials should be.
I could send you the articles and the links.
I read the articles after watching it, and
you read the ones on Advocate and Out regarding the trans community, written by trans people, describing incidents.
They take
regarding this special.
Yeah, they retell the jokes. They retell they summarize what he says, basically, just like in Front Desk when they pull the quotes out just like one after another.
Again, it's not the same thing. It isn't the same thing. And you're belittling both situations when you try to compare two things that are non-comparable. It's an apples and oranges situation. And again, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. Do I think the special should be pulled? Probably not. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. But I'm not a trans person. I'm not being targeted by this special. And I haven't had anyone say that, anything about me because, Chappelle said this, so now I get to act like this, which may be happening. And that's the problem.
I don't know that he said anything like that, but anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. It was a weird topic for him to, I don't know why he keeps bringing it up. It causes him so much controversy that he doesn't need,
because
obviously.
He makes more money every time it comes up.
No, he doesn't. He's already signed the deal. His deal is over already. He's already made how much money did he make off of that Netflix deal?
So much. He made $25 million.
For each special, probably, right?
I don't know. I think it was $25 million was the number I saw from Netflix. I mean, it's crazy.
It was weird that I do see, it is weird, why he keeps, it's such a big part of the special. I don't know why he decides to focus on it. I think he's bored, to be honest.
I don't know. I stand by my statement is you can't tell the
I agree with you.
Party
Absolutely.
that they can't be offended when they're the ones.
I agree with you
targeted.
100%. I was not offended about his Space Jews joke.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's me personally.
That's you. You're not offended by Space Jews. I'm sure I wouldn't be offended by Space Jews either.
Shipwreck was, though. He wants it pulled.
But there's a difference in.
Of course, I'm not saying it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. And if the trans community is being hurt by what was said by Dave Chappelle, then the trans community was hurt by Dave Chappelle, and it's something that should be explored. Not by us, but
right. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to new releases, or maybe before new releases, we will do an ad because people want ads before new releases. That's a lot of feedback. I've been getting a lot of feedback about that.
Mm-hmm.
More ads.
More ads? Okay. Let's hear from our friends at Trade. Would you consider yourself a certified coffee nerd or a self-professed coffee newbie? Either way, you need to hear about Trade. Does your at-home coffee just not live up to your expectations? Trade can change that. Trade's goal is to make every cup of coffee your best ever. The journey to your perfect cup starts with taking their coffee quiz. You use a French press, automatic drip. You're a cold brew person? Not a problem. Your answers will allow Trade to pair you with the perfect coffee to fit your tastes. Trade will match you to coffees you'll love from over 400 craft coffees and will send you a freshly roasted bag as often as you'd like. Trade guarantees you'll love your first match. On the off chance you don't, they'll replace it with a different bag for free. Give feedback as you sip. As your preferences evolve, your coffee matches will too. You can feel good about each cup since Trade partners with over 55 small U.S.-based roasters who are committed to ethical and sustainable sourcing. I've been drinking their coffee. I actually have a bag right here.
You came prepared.
From Bird Rock Coffee Roasters. It's the can you see that? The little
Yeah,
Italy
open it up.
blend? I don't want to open.
Well, how do we know if there's something really in there? It could be fake.
No, I could smell it. It smells great. It's great coffee. I've been drinking it. I make a pot every morning. I drink 3 cups a day. And by 3 cups, I mean 6 cups because I make big cups. But it's really great coffee. I can't recommend it enough. For our listeners right now, Trade is offering your first bag free and $5 off your bundle at checkout. To get yours, go to drinktrade.com/CAGcast and use promo code CAGcast. Take the quiz to start your journey to the perfect cup. That's drinktrade.com/CAGcast. Promo code CAGcast for your first bag free and $5 off your bundle. Enjoy.
Let's enjoy those new releases.
All right. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I played a lot of that game.
I've played a level of that game.
You should play more of that game.
I want to play more of that game. It's good. I've only played a level, so I can't say that much about it. Other than the first level, there's a lot of walking involved. Like not a lot of doing, a lot of walking, and then I do something for like maybe 30 seconds.
There's more doing as you progress in the game, but there's surprisingly not a lot of fighting. At least I'm up to chapter 6, maybe 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of exploring. There's talking. There's puzzles. It's funny. I was saying this to you earlier. It almost in many ways reminds me of like a big budget Artful Escape, which I actually really like that game. So I kind of like this. It's weirdly.
I can see that. I mean, the visuals are psychedelic.
Yeah.
It's got the rock music. It's got the walking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like a big budget 3D Artful Escape, which if you really like the Artful Escape, like I did, this is like kind of a nice follow-up. It pairs really well with Far Cry 6 because Far Cry 6 is so
it's the
frenzied and big and open and non-linear. Yeah. Well, yes. Because it's the 2 games up. Because it's 2 games I have.
2 games, yeah.
Which, yes. That's what I mean, though. It's like you put those 2 things together, and this is sort of, it's a little bit more low-key. It's a little bit more, listening involved. And I like the puzzle solving. I like the characters. I like the Easter eggs.
The characters are good. They've got, I mean, it's good fan service. I find so far it plays an awful lot, the mechanics wise, plays an awful lot like Avengers.
It has some Avengers mechanics. I saw someone say it's like they took the Iron Man character and the Black Widow character and smashed them into one character. Which I get it. I see that. You only control Star-Lord, for those who are curious, but you can issue combat commands to the rest of your team. And actually, when you are in combat situations, doing that is a lot of fun. I really do like it. I have, 6 moves I could do with my other characters, and I have 3 special moves for my Star-Lord at this point. So there's a lot of stuff you can do when you're in a fight. And I've had 2 big boss battles at this point where you have to like use combinations in a specific way. So there is more combat as you go on, but the beginning of the game is surprisingly slower. But but there are also like, I just did a stretch, spoiler alert, you go to nowhere, which if you've seen a Guardians movie, you would expect
they talk about it in the first level already. Like 2 or 3 times in the first level, I think.
Yeah, you're not going to do much fighting in nowhere. That's a lot of walking around and going into places and talking to people. Which
the interactions are good between the characters, like the little clips and everything. I just wish it wasn't like. I wish it wasn't so much like the Avengers game. Like just the way that you interact with environments and everything. It just feels similar.
I think the Avengers game was a little less coherent. It wasn't as well thought out because it had a different end goal than this game has, which this game's end goal is to just finish the game. There's nothing beyond the story, so the story is more cohesive and more well thought out. I think you need to get further along in it. I think you'll like it better once you do that first mission. I like it a lot. The only things that kind of bother me is Star-Lord's hair is distracting because it's tonally off, and Gamora's voice doesn't.
How can hair be tonally off?
Oh, it is. It just doesn't look like his hair. It's too like
it's like a pompadour.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like it, and I don't like Gamora's voice. I'm sure the actress
I thought she was pretty good.
She sounds a little too Californian, and she's a little too laid back. It's weird. She doesn't sound like someone who was raised by a military leader. You know, there's something just about it. I don't know. It throws me off. What do you want from me?
I don't know. I think it compares to like those third person Transformers games, not the beat 'em up one that looked like the animated series, but the like War for Cybertron type thing. Do you remember those games?
Yeah.
Where it was like a solid licensed game where you're going through linear levels and you're like, this is good enough of like this type of game, or like that Captain America game.
I think it's probably more on par with that Captain America game. I think it's better than the Transformers game.
The Transformers games were fine. I think you will look back and those got like probably 8s when they came out. This is right in that same type of thing.
Oh, this game is definitely in the solid 8 range. 100%. I like it a lot. I recommend it. It's gorgeous. Also, it's graphically very impressive. Finding all the costumes is a lot of fun. And again, if you're a Marvel nerd, specifically like the cosmic Marvel universe, then there's a lot here for you. I even recommend this when you're playing the game and you come across like a villain with a name and you don't know who that villain is. I actually recommend Googling it and like looking up who the person is and getting a little bit of background, because you're going to come across villains probably at least 3 times in this game. And you're going to be like, did they make this up for the game? And then you look up and it's like, oh, wow, no, they did not make this up for this game. These are actual characters. How interesting. Just a little bit of, I know it sounds like homework, but that's the kind of stuff I like.
Chibi doesn't like doing that in games.
I
just scan them with the in-game visor and it tell you that
you can scan them with the in-game visor.
Perfect.
It would be cool if when you scan them, it said stuff like first appearance, Guardians of the Galaxy 6, 2007. That actually would be a nice touch, but it unfortunately does not do that. It should. I will agree with you.
Yeah, I can't believe I don't have the opportunity to ignore that information.
You know what? It's a very me game. It's not necessarily a you game.
I'm glad that your review request came in,
and
I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
Thank you for both of those things.
Yes.
You didn't get any glitches in yours though?
No, mine hasn't. I know you said yours crashed once. That is not the only glitch I had once was, and it was more probably, I hate to say my fault than the game's fault, is I wanted to see the difference between performance mode and visual mode to see how different the visuals looked. And when I turned on visual mode, like a little bit of the visor got stuck in the back of Star-Lord's head and it didn't go away until I hit the next cutscene. So I think that may have just been though, because I changed the 2 modes mid-level. Yeah,
mine was in a cutscene / quick time events, like where you're choosing what his response is going to be. And I chose my response, but then he just kind of like, he was sitting in the like captain's chair in the Milano, and he just kind of like stood up and was just standing there, and that wouldn't do anything else. Just stood up, and that was where my game ended.
And just because people are asking, I'm playing on the Xbox Series X, and Shipwreck is playing on a PlayStation 5. So
word.
Yep.
What else
Fun game though. I recommend it if you're into it.
It sounds like it's good. It's been getting good reviews. I'm glad. I was worried that it was going to be horrible.
Yeah, it is. It is not horrible.
It's not. We need games to be good.
Put that on the back of the box. It is not horrible.
Excellent.
You could put that on the back of a Guardians box.
Yeah, it fits.
Yeah.
Yep. I like the back. Well, anyway, I don't want to talk too much more about it.
What else we got in new releases?
They came out with Toy Soldiers again, the original game, but now in HD.
Oh boy. Oh, good news.
$30.
Good news.
Yeah,
We've got
crazy.
a Whip Smart Spank Banky review that's a new release, and it's called Neptunia times Senran Kagura Ninja Wars. Yes, it's on the PS4. And he really likes it. It's his hot pick of the week. It's a Musu style hack and slash combined with an RPG. And you can sit on top of a giant peach in your underwear and balance yourself to earn combat bonuses. He really liked it. He said the women have large breasts and they are cat girls. He likes cat girls and large breasts. So if you like that too, you're going to like Neptunia Senran Kagura. Right, Chip?
Yeah. I think that's there's no doubt about that.
Right. I was surprised that this wasn't a Switch game. Maybe it's on Switch too, though. It probably is, because what's not on Switch?
Yeah, I would assume so.
This just happens to be one of those games that's on the Switch and also on other platforms, which is usually not the case. All right. Any other new releases?
I don't think so. I mean, it's kind of weird, like that. I look at that release list. I mean, the new NASCAR came out, but that and Guardians kind of had this week to itself.
Good.
It was a good week for Guardians to come out. So basically,
nice.
Yep, good week for it's. So yeah, Guardians. That's it.
All right, let's move on to GPD's Wombat's Fortnightly News.
Where's the song?
I don't know. We got it.
I don't know.
It's here, but I don't feel like pushing the button. Look, I held back like 3 burps so far, so just be happy with that.
Sounds good.
I used all my button pressing ability on that.
It was a big week in Fortnite, because every season they have a character that's time released.
Right, the Resident Evil people, right?
No, that was for sale.
Oh.
There's one season pass character that releases after a certain period of time.
Oh.
And you have to wait. I think it's like 12 weeks or whatever it was for the stupid character to unlock. And that happened on Tuesday. So I unlocked the character and all of her accoutrements. And with that, I am officially done with the season.
Wait, it's just some nameless character?
This one wasn't a licensed one. They went with the Cube Queen.
Q what?
Cube Queen.
Cube Queen.
Cube Queen. They gave her 3 different skin variants and a backpack and a glider and a pickaxe, all the stuff. She got all the stuff. She even has her own theme song with words. It's very weird. It was cool. I was happy to have it, but like I said, with that, I'm done with the whole season.
Good. You can focus on Far Cry 6 now.
I'm over level 200. I have the stretch goal skins. I have the hidden character skins. I got all the individual fish looks.
Yep. Let's focus on how much TV I'm watching.
So I'm done. I'm done with Fortnite for the season.
Great.
For all intents and purposes. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll play still because it's fun, but I don't have to do anything anymore.
Are you almost done with Far Cry?
I am. I think you and I are like the same level now, right? You're
Probably.
level 12.
Yeah.
I'm level 12.
Yeah, I'm a general.
Yeah, so we're both the same level. We both finished 2 factions. I think you took out more anti-aircraft guns than me, though.
I've taken out almost all of them.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I'm more of a checkpoint guy.
It's a pretty fun Far Cry game. It's not. The problem is you figure out what works for you, and then you can do that every time, and then it gets boring. Because
I have that shotgun that I got like really early in the game. It's one of the unique shotguns. It has a silencer built in.
Right.
It doesn't overheat. And it's like a one-shot shotgun. So it's like I use it anytime I get, and it's silent. So I could literally just walk around and not get caught.
Did you see the clip that I posted on Twitter today?
I think so.
It's just like with
your sniper. Yeah.
Right. Every mission looks like this. And it's just me sniping guys from not even that far away. Just headshot them. They die in one shot.
Yeah.
And they don't really notice when you're killing their friends too quickly. So as long as you're not that slow, you can take out like 6 guys in like 5 to 10 seconds, and you have no problem.
What sniper rifle were you using?
It's not a sniper rifle. It's just a regular rifle.
Oh, I see. I use a sniper. I got the the thing that we tried to do the co-op mission together, GP and I, and it did not work.
Kept crashing.
We tried 3 times. It kept crashing. I did one on my own, and I use my points to unlock the overclocked sniper rifle, I recommend it.
Okay.
Get the overclocked sniper rifle.
But I don't need anything better because, like I said, I got this.
I know,
but like the first rifle I got too. It's weird how they tried to make this game Destiny, and it adds basically nothing.
Did they though? Did they try to make it Destiny?
Well, with the character inventory, they tried to make it Destiny and Tomb Raider. Like all the gear, there's so much gear now. There's crafting. There's now attachments for weapons that you're crafting and putting on.
I like the attachments for weapons.
I know, but it doesn't really add much to it. It just seems like you said,
you add a sniper rifle and a new scope. I mean, that's I
don't even need. But once you find that one gun that does everything, like I found the first gun I got. It's what I'm using now for 90% of my killing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It's a lot of fun. But I feel like there's a lot of opportunity to make this game better.
They could have, should have, would have streamlined a lot of it. I think streamlining would have been better. And I agree with you also on the tone, but we haven't gotten there yet.
It is weird how, why do Far Cry games have to have this dark undertone? It doesn't, because it's so misplaced because a lot of the game is very silly. Like the gameplay is silly because the physics are weird and the game is a little buggy. So you'll get out of a helicopter and then it'll just be hovering by itself 10 feet off the ground and then flip over. And even the dialogue between the characters is often it's lighthearted, but there's serious shit going on in the background, like torture and shooting dogs. Why am I shooting so many dogs in this game?
I complained about that before.
That's weird. That doesn't need to be in the game. It's and why am I watching people getting tortured? It's not necessary. It's not making the game
why is one of the missions stopping someone from committing suicide? Why am I doing that? Why am I, why? Yeah, it's
fake edginess. It adds nothing.
Yeah, it does. It's unnecessary. I think the game would have been maybe a lot better if the storyline was literally just, I don't know, you're on the island, stop the bad guys. It doesn't need to be any more than that. And
bad guy doesn't have to be the worst human being on the planet ever.
Yeah.
Right. But that just happens to be limited by where he's located on the planet Earth and his resources.
I don't know. Maybe tonally this is going for a different crowd.
But they're all the same. They're all like this.
No. I mean, as Far Cry in general, maybe it's going for a different person who's looking for a different experience. Because the tone is exactly why I don't play the Far Cry games, because it just doesn't resonate with me at all.
You can skip all the cutscenes, by the way, and ignore the tone.
Gameplay. I've played enough Far Cry to know exactly what I'm gonna do the entire time. Right.
Right.
The gameplay loop, it's fun, but I don't want to do it for how long is this game?
I don't know.
40 hours.
Probably more.
No,
right.
No. I don't think it's that bad. They've done a lot of there is some quality of life stuff in there. It's really easy to fast travel, and not only can you fast travel, you can fast travel to midair, and then wingsuit down. So you're not wasting a lot of time in this game traveling.
The wingsuit fast travel thing saves so much time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of air vehicles and just fast-moving vehicles.
Yeah, there's a mini helicopter that moves really fast and is easy to maneuver.
Yep.
So you could just take that and you could go cross map in no time. So that is definitely a benefit. And there is silliness in the game too.
Right, that's what I mean. It's why it feels
there's
off.
That mission where you have to get the crocodile hat, and you're killing guys in a crocodile hat, and that's acknowledging the silliness of what's going on.
They're not willing to go in the Saints Row direction that much. Just in some of the dialogue, they'll do it, but not so much in the main story, the villains or anything. It's always just the villain is dead serious. It's never super over the top. Anyway, it's a fun game. I would totally recommend it because you can skip the story, and the game is gorgeous. It's probably the best looking Xbox Series X game. I don't know. It looks amazing. The sunrises and sunsets are just awesome. And the God rays and all that shit. It looks real nice. Anyway, I'll be playing more of that. I'll probably be done by next week, hopefully. We'll see. Some news. Did anybody check out the GTA remastered videos? Anybody thinking about going back to GTA?
I watched it. It still looked
not exciting.
They rounded some edges off, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but they still look like very blocky. Like it's not like, oh my god, it's not like Red Dead Redemption graphics in Vice City. It's still the same. They almost look like Minecraft characters at this point.
It's not the Saints Row remaster. It's not Saints Row the third remaster, which looks really good.
And Grand Theft Auto games have had the worst mechanics in any open world shooter since always.
I think they've improved those. I think the idea is they've improved some of the gameplay stuff. But I
was gonna say, because talk about bad quality of life stuff. That game is literally looking at the bottom corner of the screen because they won't put the stupid GPS line on the screen, and I hate that. And
they may have fixed that.
Do that.
They may have.
Because they haven't done that even in Grand Theft Auto, whatever the newest one was.
Oh, then forget it.
I hate that. I hate it. It's I don't know. I think Grand Theft Auto I love Grand Theft Auto 3 when it came out, but I'm not a fan.
By the trilogy, is this the Grand Theft Auto 3 trilogy?
Yes.
Or is
3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Okay.
I mean, I
didn't know if we were getting all of the top-down ones and all that stuff too.
All right, here's the question then. If you had to play one of those 3, which one would you play?
I would probably play 3 again because it's the one I enjoyed the most.
Interesting. Shipwreck?
Probably Vice City.
Same.
I know most people are going to say Vice City. Yeah, I get that, but
I don't know that I ever played San Andreas.
Sure, he did. You know what I will say is they better.
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
You did.
You had to.
They need to patch hot coffee.
I never played 4.
Yeah,
could have hot coffee back in. Yeah, I finished 3 and Vice City, but San Andreas I bailed. I got a little.
Right,
I feel like I
pretty much 100%ed 3 and Vice City, and then I'm like, I'm good. I played that enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Vice City was the last one I finished.
I don't know. I never really got.
I played the what was it, Chinatown Wars or something?
Was that a PSP game?
The DS ones.
I like the DS one.
All right, what else we got here? Did you hear that they changed the Overwatch character name because McCree was named after an employee at Blizzard who was one of those sexual harassers. Mm-hmm. So they fired him and they changed the name.
His name is now Dr. Martin Luther Gandhi.
No, it's Cole Cassidy. That may not be in line with a Wild West character.
No, I like my name better though.
Right. I think they should have went with Clint Eastwood. That would have been good.
I think that's more problematic than McCree.
It's more problematic than, yeah, definitely. Let's move on to Microsoft. Did anybody watch the Halo Infinite campaign trailer?
I did.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
like more Halo. It's open world now.
It's funny, like,
you know what?
It doesn't look like awesome. Like Far Cry looks beautiful when you look at it. I don't think you look at that and say, that looks beautiful.
I think though the mechanically,
what was the setting of it though? Because
rocks. I believe there were rocks.
Okay.
Aliens,
and you shoot
lasers.
Was it a jungle level or where?
Yes, everything.
Yeah,
many levels.
Everything.
It showed a lot of different parts. I feel it wasn't just like a slice.
Some of Halo is the art design, right? Like that doesn't really pop because it's very angular to begin with.
Correct.
So you can't
minimalist.
Right. And that's built around the gameplay as well.
Maybe brutalist even. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But it's missing some of like the visual trickery, like the effects, I feel. Like even didn't they say that some shit's not even coming at launch? Or was it God rays or something? Ray tracing. It looks good. I mean, look, it looks very sharp and it's good, and I'm going to play it and enjoy it. But mostly, I'm there for the multiplayer because I don't understand the story.
I saw Craig has a beard now.
I don't even know who Craig is. Who's Craig?
He's the gorilla-looking brute guy that everybody made fun of the first time they revealed this game.
Is his name really Craig? No.
I don't know if that's what the internet calls him.
That's the internet calls him. It was when they did the first one and they showed him and he looked terrible. And
the first time when they showed Halo Infinite for the first time?
The first time.
Oh, okay.
Which wasn't even that long ago, I don't think either. But
about a year ago or something, right?
Yeah, it was before they announced the delay, I guess. Right?
Yeah. And they're like, look how great our Halo game looks. And everyone's like, is that like Halo 1? Is that from like the Xbox? Because that's a good looking Xbox game. Old Xbox. But yeah. I mean, obviously I'm gonna play it. So
I'm excited.
Whatever.
I'm very excited. It's gonna be great. I
be
gotta
there.
finish Far Cry. When does that come out? November? What?
You have
Soon.
plenty of time.
Do I? How do you know?
Because I know.
Halo Infinite release date. December 8th. What?
You got time.
You were right. I thought you were wrong.
Nope.
Is anything coming out in November? Is Forza coming out in November?
I
That
think
sounds
so.
reasonable. Yeah.
All right.
But that's like a game
probably
you
out
can
now.
play. You can intersperse that with Far Cry. It's not a.
No, it won't fuck up my aiming.
It pairs well with Far Cry.
Because
It pairs well.
Because it's another game that you will have.
It's another game. Exactly.
November 5th is Forza. Yeah, I got those confused.
Is the title of the show going to be It Pairs Well with Far Cry?
No.
You know what pairs well with Guardians of the Galaxy is Metroid Dread.
Ah, is that another game you have?
Yeah, it's another game I'm still playing. I'm closing in on the end of Metroid Dread, I believe.
Oh wow. I heard it's hard. Not for you, but like for an average gamer.
I would say you die a lot, but I haven't found anything that's like really frustrating. It's more of I got to learn the patterns to this, right?
Sure.
The only ones that are frustrating at all would be the intentionally frustrating parts of where you go into the zones where the robots, like you walk into rooms and there's specific rooms where these killer robots are like Resident Evil Nemesis type of thing where it's chasing you.
Okay. You're not supposed to be there yet?
No, you're supposed to be there, but you have to get in those zones and out of those zones without getting caught by the robot, right?
They don't want you hanging around too long.
It's a whole mechanic, right? It adds a suspense mechanic to it because you can use your cloaking ability to where you can get by them and kind of like hang on the ceiling and wait for them to go by, type of thing. But if they catch you, you can sometimes counter out of it. It's very tough to counter out of it, and it's just instant kills. And so those rooms can sometimes, at least the way I play them, is like, well, I'm going to just try running through this room again and see if I get through it, to find the exit. But beyond that, like it's shooting things with missiles. It's the typical Metroid solution to everything, right? Really got me thinking about Metroid, like how many people in the Metroid universe have just gotten killed by like they were getting ready to go through a door and then somebody shooting a missile to open the door on the other side. Just
who designed these doors? It seems like a very weird type of lock and key mechanism. Just
right.
Missiles? Weird. Obviously, like the Metroid world is dominated by the door industry because only, the door industry would say, hey, the only way to open these doors is by destroying them. You have to buy a whole new door every time you want to open and close the door. Be great for business, but so they're obviously in charge.
It's a solid Metroid game, I think.
Good.
I'm enjoying it. I play it for, I don't know, about an hour every day. So making my way through it.
Nice. Excellent. Wombat, have you been playing Resident Evil 4 in VR on Oculus Quest 2?
I played about 45 minutes, I think.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
I heard they did a nice job with it.
Yeah. The long story short, we talked about it on the show last week. I said it was going to be too expensive, and somehow they heard me. And as soon as we finished, they had sent me a coupon code for 30% off my next purchase on the Oculus, which I used to get Resident Evil 4 because I figured I would talk about it on this program. Right. And here we are.
See, system works, except for the part where they heard you talk about it.
Exactly. So I did buy the game. It is Resident Evil 4. If you've ever played that game, you are familiar with the basics of what you're getting into. But it is in VR. I am not doing the moving. I'm doing the teleporting. You just flick the left stick to a point in space, and that's where you go.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing where you hold the stick down and move.
Too dizzying.
It's a little dizzying,
Mm-hmm.
but I do like the quality of life options because there's a ton of them as far as movement, even hand dominance. So I can set it to being left-handed because I am left-handed.
Nice.
Yeah. So you reach down with your left hand and you pull your pistol from your hip.
Yes, talk dirty.
And then you grab the ammo with your other hand and you put it in the gun and you go.
I heard like that stuff was done really well. All like the combat and like if you want to throw a grenade, you have to take it off your chest.
Yep. Same thing. You have a grenade on one side and health on the other. And your shotgun or whatever your two-handed weapon is over your shoulder.
See, and now I read that somebody complained that they wind up punching themselves in the breasts because they're trying to grab the grenade and they don't quite, know where, they're in VR, so they don't quite know where their body begins and ends.
It's not always perfect.
I thought it was that, the setting on it didn't account for boobs.
No. It doesn't know where your chest is. It only knows where your head is.
It knows your head and your hands.
But if your hands are in relation to your head and you can't get your hand close enough to where your head is at because there's a boob in the way.
Yeah, it could be a problem.
Right. It doesn't account for that. There's no track. Right. There's no body tracking.
You don't have to do the grabby way of getting your weapons. You can do like hold the thumbstick in and it brings up the weapon wheel, but that's not
fun. Punch them titties.
Why aren't you just playing normal Resident Evil 4?
Exactly. Then you might as well just be playing.
Might as well play checkers.
Yeah. Does it look cool? Of course it looks cool. It's
your
probably
tits sore?
The biggest game. Are my tits sore? Will I play more of it? Sure.
How's the merchant?
I haven't gotten up to the merchant yet. I'm not that far. I'm probably like right there though.
He's gonna be all up in your area with what are you buying?
He'll be like inside of his coat.
He'll be like, what are you staring at?
Right, you're just gonna stick your head directly into his coat to see what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
How about some left-hand dominance, sailor?
What are you touching? Stop touching.
Cool. Yeah, it's been getting. I'm sure they're making a lot of money with that game. That was a good call. Cool. That was a good idea for them to do that.
It's like
I think companies are starting to make money with VR games now.
I'm trying to think I guess it's probably the best one to do for that because it has so much combat in it. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering if Resident Evil 1 would have worked well in VR also. Because it's the centralized location of the house. Like, and the way that the movement was so stilted, it might actually work in VR.
Nick Pedrio writes in and he wants Wombat's thoughts on Supernatural's adding boxing workouts. He wants to know if you've tried it yet. And wants to know if you're still enjoying Supernatural in general. He said he's been slacking a bit, but boxing may reel him back in.
I've definitely been slacking a bit. I definitely still like it. I know. I'm terrible. It's been a weird last couple of weeks. I have not tried the boxing yet, which only came out yesterday. So.
Okay. Well, we'll excuse it. Maybe for next week, though. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got here. Let's move on to the CAG bag. It's getting late. Kuribanju writes in. He says, I found a used CPD costume on eBay. Should I buy it? And also, what are you guys wearing for Halloween?
What is a used CPD costume?
It's a joke.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was something.
It's your mom's old douchebag, but that's in
we
Ohio.
had the Boy Scout trunk or treat on Friday, and I wore my costume already once.
That's how I learned what trunk or treat was.
Yes, I dressed up like a giant banana. I posted pictures online.
Were you supposed to be Peely? Is that
who you are? Yeah.
Okay. It was a Fortnite themed trunk.
It was a Fortnite themed trunk. My wife was Blue Team Leader, was her skin, and my son was 8-Ball, and Sabrina was
the drug.
Yeah,
it's very inappropriate.
Drug. And my daughter was, I believe, her costume was
heroin.
I'm having none of this. I'm sitting in the back seat.
I'll be at home watching TV.
Yeah. So
nice.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Shipwreck. Your costume, or do you not want to reveal it yet?
No, I can say it. I'm not going to put it on right now.
Right.
I'm going as Coach Beard from Ted Lasso.
Didn't we come up with that on the show? That idea?
Yes, that was my idea.
Well, sure.
My
Shipwreck thought of it first. You just didn't. Have you ever been shipwrecked for Halloween?
No, I've never dressed up as Shipwreck.
Well, that's
I don't think so.
Because
No,
you could do that. That's a very viable option for you.
I think most people would just assume he's dressed up as a sailor. Which I guess
not if you had the bird. If you had the bird and a gun. What was his gun?
The grappling gun.
He had a shotgun. He had
a grappling.
He had a grapple hook as well. Yeah, that wasn't his gun though.
I think if you have the shotgun, I think that would be good for next year.
Nobody could ever figure out exactly what that thing was that Shipwreck had. That was the grappling hook thing. It was something on a string.
Mm-hmm.
That
an
he put on his little hook on his pants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it right now. Oh, let me see. Does it tell me what it is?
Oh,
oh my God, we're beard. Look at that gray beard. Oh my God, that's a lot of gray. It's too close.
Ew.
Oh,
what is that?
There's a long gray hairs.
Precision pistol and what was it?
Don't look again. No.
Boarding hooks. Boarding hooks.
Oh my God. Boarding. Oh, right. That makes sense. So when he's boarding ship, he's yeah. I played Assassin's Creed. I remember those boarding hooks.
There you go.
What else we got in the CAG bad? Clicksby writes in. He says, off air, do you call each other by your real names?
No.
But some trivia that I learned by watching the pre-show and the classic clips. In the first episode of the show, I refer to you as Stuart.
That is my birth
I do
name.
not refer to you as Wombat. I refer to you as Stuart.
A handful of people do refer to me as Stuart.
So we grew into that. That is the trivia. I don't know what episode I stopped calling you Stuart.
You can call me that. I would be upset.
I do not want it. I don't want that.
You can if you want. Everyone else can too.
Shanafan writes in.
It's what my mom calls me.
Wombat avoids games without a pause button, but Fortnite doesn't have a pause button. Care to explain?
Oh my goodness. What a gotcha question.
This is the power of randomization and loot in games. You can overcome his hate for pause buttons.
It has more to do with the fact that I could leave a Fortnite game in the middle.
Can you?
And not lose anything. Like even if I had completed a challenge in Fortnite 2 minutes in and you leave the game, you still get the credit for the completed challenge.
What about your dignity?
I lost that like 20 years ago.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So if something really happened, like child needs me, I just leave the game I'm in. That in a game of Fortnite usually doesn't last more than 20 minutes. It's only annoying in games where I think the good example is Outriders, which doesn't have a pause button. And a round of that game is like an hour. And I don't have time. So,
What you're saying is basically that rounds of Fortnite are basically disposable.
Yes. So pause isn't 100% necessary.
Right. You can just throw the whole thing right in the garbage.
And then just go right back. And basically, if I start a new game again, it's right where I left off.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. And that's why I can get away with it. I think probably Apex would be the same, with similar.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. But Apex is more serious, though, I feel like. I'm letting down my teammates if I just quit out.
Yeah, because you're playing with others.
Right. And it's more, I feel like there's more at stake.
As opposed to if I was playing Fortnite solos.
We're not shooting bots.
Who cares? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Anyway, so that was a great answer. And now you can tell Shanafan to
stick it where the sun don't shine.
Exactly. Thank you. All right. That's enough show. I think everybody can agree that's too much show, probably. Let's remind everybody that we're here most Wednesdays, maybe not every Wednesday, but 99% of the Wednesdays at 9 p.m. here on twitch.tv/cheapassgamer. If you were here for this episode, you would have seen a way too close shot of Shipwreck's beard. I would recommend not looking at that if you have a choice in the future. If you're hearing this on audio, you could probably skip that. You're not missing much. It was too close. Camera quality is too good these days. We did not need to see that in HD. Also, we've got a Discord, discord.gg/CAG. Talk about everything in there and nothing at the same time. Also, Fortnite creator code Wombat5277. He's done for the season, but that doesn't mean that you are while you're grinding away there. Wombat5277.
Buy stuff.
Right. It makes it easier if you buy stuff.
You got Resident Evil skins out now in Fortnite. You got the Universal Monsters there.
Tim Sweeney needs money. He said it on Twitter that this tax thing is gonna fuck him up, and he's gonna have to cancel Fortnite if you don't send money.
The new Batman Who Laughs is out now. I got that with my Batman Who Laughs comic book.
Who did laugh, by the way?
The Batman.
Okay. Spoiler.
The Batman Who Laughs. That's his name. I didn't name him. I don't know.
Any word from our sponsor that we should know about?
Yes. Right, for our listeners right now, Trade is offering your first bag of coffee free and $5 off your bundle at checkout. To get yours, go to drinktrade.com/CAGcast and use promo code CAGcast.
Bag. All right, we'll see you next week probably.
Bread's done.